Yo, what's crack-a-lackin', and welcome to KC's Corner. KC James here, kicking it with you, and you know how I do it. I give you the 411 and I keep it real. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. Getting it all kicked off with my main man, George Benson, in the house, and give me the night. And we will be giving you the night tonight because it is the men's NCAA basketball championship final game between San Diego State and UConn. March Madness has been all that. You know what I always say? It's the greatest spectacle in sports. It's better than the Super Bowl, better than the World Series, better than the heavyweight championship. It's better than putting all together because it is, again, the greatest spectacle in sports, bar none. The tournament has been all that, and now it comes down to this. San Diego State, after that incredible buzzer beater by Lamont Butler last Saturday against Florida Atlantic, they win it 72-71, a true buzzer beater as he knocked down that mid-range shot to win that game with no time left on the clock. It couldn't be any better than that. What a great game that San Diego State played. When they were down by 14 points, I thought they were done. I thought there was no chance this team would be able to come back. Yes, they have heart. Yes, they have huevos. Yes, they came back against other teams in the tournament. Yes, they knocked out the number 1 seed, Alabama, but I thought they were done. Florida Atlantic, and I got to give Dusty May a great job for coaching that team up. Give them mad props, too, because they had never won a game in the tournament in the history of their school, and they get to the Final Four. San Diego State, who had never gotten to at least the Sweet 16, or at least past the Sweet 16. They get all the way to the Final Four. First time any team in the conference has made it this far, and then that incredible buzzer beater as they come back. Again, Lamont Butler was just clutch. He almost stepped out of bounds by like an inch, and then dribbles back in, pulls up, and knocks down that mid-range jumper. And as soon as that ball left his hand, I knew it was money. I mean, it was nothing but net, nothing but twine. He was calm, cool, and collected. And how about the great job by Brian Dutcher to coach them up? He was 27 years as an assistant under Steve Fisher at Michigan and then San Diego State, and now is taking this team where they have boldly not ever gone before all the way to the championship. And he said it. He had called a timeout before because he doesn't call a timeout. 7 seconds to go. They get the ball. They go downhill. He had a TO, but he said, I didn't have anything. I had called all the plays, and there was nothing I could tell the players. I just let them play because he has said it during this tournament that March is about players, and he has made sure we all understand that. And it has definitely been about San Diego State, as again, they've got it done. They're a great defensive team. They have great athletes. They play hard. They play together. You can tell, again, they love to be with each other on the court. They help each other defensively. They get it done offensively. Now, they have not been a great offensive team, but boy, they made the biggest shot. That's the biggest shot in this tournament since Chris Jenkins did it for Villanova 7 years ago when they beat North Carolina, also in Houston. I mean, that shot, if San Diego State goes on to win this game tonight, that would be the greatest shot, in my opinion, since Keith Smart's shot back in 1987. Yeah, Chris Jenkins made a three-pointer to win it for Villanova 7 years ago against North Carolina, but that game was tied. If he misses that shot, that game goes OT. But if Lamont Butler misses that shot on Saturday, we're not having this conversation today because San Diego will be watching Florida Atlantic in the final game and not be playing that game themselves. So again, mad props to them. And you also have to give Steve Fisher the credit for building this program up, getting them to where they needed to be, and then handing the torch off to Brian Dutcher. And he has done a fantastic job in San Diego State. It's all about the Aztecs right now, but they've got one problem, one big problem, and that's going against UConn because Dan Hurley has coached them up. I mean, Adama Sanoku has just been a beast, averaging a double-double in this tournament. UConn, they can score. They can defend. They have size. They can hit the three. They can get up and down. They can play in the half court. They have been clicking on all cylinders, and their lowest margin of victory in this tournament was in the Final Four when they beat a very good Miami team coached by Jim Larinaga by 13, 72 to 59. They're averaging over 20-point margin of victory in this tournament. They have been dominant, and obviously the team to beat. They were the team to beat early in the year. Then, right in January, they struggled and went 2-6. And then Dan Hurley righted the ship, got these guys playing the best basketball of the season at the right time. And again, they have been a monster in the tournament. They have been just punching people in the mouth in this tournament. And so far, really, nobody's punched back. So how do you beat this team, this UConn team? And they're a blue blood. You know, everybody's been saying there's no blue bloods made it to the Final Four. Of course, no blue blood in the championship. Well, I disagree with that because this team has won 4 national championships, going for a 5th, and they've done all this since 1999. They won those 3 under Jim Calhoun. Kevin Ollie added one back in 2014. This is a blue blood. You win 4 championships in a 23-year span, and you are always in it. They had a few down years in there about 4 or 5 years ago, but other than that, they are a blue blood. So now, if you're San Diego State, how do you knock off the blue blood? Well, first of all, for San Diego State to win this game, they're going to have to muck this game up. They're going to have to slow it up. They're going to have to get a little dirty. They're going to have to play some grinded out basketball, play physical, and they're going to have to defend. But also, San Diego State is going to have to make some shots. They can't just defend. They've got to make some shots and be able to score against this UConn team, this behemoth, I'm calling them, this UConn team. So it is going to be interesting to see how they do it and what they have to do to try and get that done tonight. And the women's tournament was all that too, with LSU coming and beating Iowa. Caitlin Clark, who just was she was like the Bill Walton and the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar of college basketball, except she's a woman, scoring more than anybody has ever scored in the tournament, period, male or female. She had 2 back-to-back 40-point games, but she came up short on Sunday as LSU and Angel Reese and Kim Mulkey coached them up, went back to her alma mater. 2 years ago, this was a 9-win team. 2 years later, they win the national championship. And everybody needs to get back in their lane when they're talking about Angel Reese and what she did to Caitlin Clark, you can't see me. And then she said, put a ring on it. And then she kind of chased her down a little bit. I like it. I like the fact that women's basketball, they are talking junk. They're out there talking smack. They're out there playing hard, playing the women's tournament. These games were the highest rated the women of any game the NBA has played this year. I'm talking about the women's NCAA tournament, let alone the men. That's why I say, without a doubt, March Madness is the greatest spectacle on the planet. And anybody who doesn't understand that, you better recognize that it is all about March Madness. And March Madness is so good, it goes all the way until April. And we are at April 3rd, and that championship game tonight. So who do I like? I like both teams, but you can't have both teams. Again, for San Diego State to win this game, they're going to have to out-defend and be more physical than UConn. They're going to have to execute. They're going to have to take advantage of when UConn turns the ball over, because UConn does turn the ball over, and you get out in transition. If you're San Diego, you've got to be able to take advantage of that. UConn is going to force San Diego to try and make some shots. They have size. Again, they play hard. They play great defensively, great offensively. And again, they have been dominant in this tournament. How do I think San Diego State can win it? I think they can, but I don't think they will. UConn is a 7 to 7.5 point favorite. I like UConn to win this game 71-66. If they keep San Diego State in the 60s, they'll win it. If this game gets above the 70s, like San Diego beating Florida Atlantic 72-71, if it gets in the 70s, I think San Diego State has a chance, but I think UConn has too much. They're too good. They're on a mission. Dan Hurley has got them playing, again, the great kind of basketball you need to win in March and in April. And at the end of tonight, I think the team that will cut down the nets will be the UConn Huskies for the 5th time in school history and the 5th time since 1999. So UConn will be the 2023 men's NCAA championship, and I will be back here to break it all down for you. Because you know how I do it. I give you the 411 and I keep it real. And if you don't know, you better ask somebody. I'll see you right here next time on KC's Corner.